Welcome to my channel, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's dive in.
In the idyllic neighborhood of Evergreen Estates, where every lawn was a perfect shade of green and every mailbox a uniform taupe, the HOA reigned supreme under the iron rule of President Evelyn Park, a former corporate lawyer who'd been humiliated in her last job and now saw the cul-de-sac as her chance to wield absolute power. Her rules were non-negotiable, backed by a unique charter that gave the HOA unchecked authority. No unapproved paint colors, no visible trash cans after 7 a.m., and absolutely no deviations from the HOA-approved flowerbed palette of white petunias. Enter Jake Miller, a scrappy artist who just moved into number 12. His green hoodie a stark contrast to the beige conformity of the street. Jake, desperate to escape his past debts, had bought the house with his last savings, hoping for a fresh start, but his first act, painting his front door a vibrant red, unleashed Evelyn's wrath. She slapped him with a $500 fine and a 48-hour ultimatum to repaint it taupe or face eviction. At the emergency HOA meeting, held in the community center's sterile conference room, Evelyn unveiled her new enforcement tactic: the Evergreen Trials, a series of compliance challenges to weed out rule breakers. The first trial, Paint or Perish, required residents to repaint their mailboxes under a ticking clock while dodging sprinklers rigged to spray red paint, a symbolic mark of shame that Evelyn had chosen for its blood-like hue, a psychological tactic to break their spirits. Jake, joined by his neighbor Lila, a single mom who'd been fined for her son's chalk drawings on the sidewalk, decided to fight back. They rallied other disgruntled residents, including old Mr. Hahn, who'd been cited for his unapproved rose bushes, and formed a secret alliance. As the trial began, Jake sprinted to his mailbox, paintbrush in hand, but the sprinklers doused him in red, staining his hoodie and face, a grim reminder of the stakes. Evelyn watched from her podium, her clipboard in hand, marking failures with a cold smile. Lila, more strategic, dodged the sprays, but her son tripped, splattering her taupe paint with red, earning a penalty. Mr. Hahn, too slow to keep up, collapsed on his lawn, red paint pooling around him like blood. The trial ended with half the residents marked, and Evelyn announced the next challenge: lawn lineup, where they mow their grass blindfolded, with the losers facing a final penalty that she refused to explain. Jake, wiping paint from his eyes, realized this HOA wasn't just about rules. It was a game of control, and he was now a player in a suburban nightmare where defiance could cost him everything. The following morning, Evergreen Estates awoke to a blood-red sunrise, the sky mirroring the chaos that had seeped into the neighborhood. Jake, still reeling from the paint or Perish trial, stood on his lawn, his green hoodie now a patchwork of red stains, as Evelyn's voice crackled to the community loudspeakers, summoning everyone for lawn lineup. The rules were simple but brutal. Blindfolded, each resident had to mow their lawn in perfect straight lines, guided only by a buzzer that sounded if they veered off course. Too many buzzes, and they'd be eliminated from Evergreen Estates for good. Jake, Lila, and Mr. Hahn huddled before the trial, their alliance shaky but determined to expose Evelyn's tyranny. As the blindfolds went on, the air filled with the roar of lawnmowers and the shrieks of residents as they stumbled, the buzzers blaring like sirens of doom. Jake, his senses heightened by fear, tried to focus, but his mower hit a sprinkler, splattering him with more red paint, the liquid dripping down his face like blood, a haunting echo of the image that had gone viral on the neighborhood's secret chat group. Lila, more agile, navigated her lawn with precision, whispering directions to her son, who guided her from the sidelines, but Evelyn's enforcers, dressed in black polo shirts with the HOA logo, intervened, accusing her of cheating and docking her points. Mr. Hahn, frail and disoriented, veered into his rose bushes, the buzzer screaming as red paint sprayed him, his cries drowned out by Evelyn's megaphone announcing his failure. The trial descended into chaos when Jake, fed up, ripped off his blindfold and charged at Evelyn's podium, mower in hand, red paint trailing behind him like a warpath. The other residents, inspired by his rebellion, followed suit, tearing off their blindfolds and turning their mowers on Evelyn's pristine flower beds, white petunias shredded under the blades. Mr. Hahn, spared eviction by the uprising, leaned on his cane, his roses now a symbol of their victory. Lila, shielding her son behind a hedge, joined the charge, her face fierce with determination. Evelyn screamed for order, but the enforcers fled as a residence, now a mob, painted the street red, literally, dumping cans of red paint across the lawns, houses, and even Evelyn's taupe Mercedes. In the aftermath, as sirens wailed in the distance, Jake stood in the center of the street, his hoodie a crimson banner defiance. The neighborhood transformed into a battlefield of color and chaos. Lila, holding her son's hand, smiled for first time in weeks, while Mr. Hahn whispered, "We're free." But as the police arrived, Evelyn, her blazer stained red, vowed revenge, hinting at a final trial that would make paint or perish look like child's play, leaving Jake to wonder if freedom from the HOA was worth the price they'd all pay.